From the heart of Kansas City, we bring you Buck and Bob Take on Chiefs Kingdom, a podcast for fans, by fans, where we aren't fancy analysts, but we have just as many bad takes. I'm Bob.
And I'm Buck. And
yeah, together with Buck and Bob.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the big game this week.
Talking about a lot of stuff this week. We're going to talk about the big game, but right here at the start, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about a little bit about stuff that's been going on and just a whole bunch of bullshit. So I'm getting sick and tired of the penalty narrative, right?
Yeah, it's all the rage. That's all anybody's talking about is how the Chiefs get helped by the referees. We appreciate it when Patrick Mahomes makes diving throws to Travis Kelce in the end zone. Not sure how the refs could help that, but that's not really what you're talking about here. You've actually brought some pen and paper to the table with some numbers and stuff to back up your refute.
Yeah, it's okay. So first off, the NFL doesn't want dominating teams, guys. This is the entire reason that they made a salary cap to make the teams that were, less financially ready able to still compete. This is why they have profit sharing, so that everybody gets a piece. This is also why when you there's the top third, the middle third, and the bottom third, you guys get faced up against each other then the next year based on record. Like the next year, the Bengals are out of the top tier, so they're going to have an easier schedule than the Chiefs, Bills, the Ravens, all of those teams. So all of these things are put into place to make parity. That is the whole point of what the NFL wants to do, is they want parity. The more teams that are popular, the more popular the league. So the fact that people think that the NFL would be complicit in wanting to make the Chiefs huge is just absurd and just silly. And so that's the first piece, okay?
So that's just if you want to, as a debater, if you want to take reason into account and actually think about it, then that argument is enough. But we know that that's not who we're talking. That's not the main audience we're talking to. If you don't have and even if you have stats to back it up, it's still going to be a thing, right?
Yep. So,
but I have a feeling that you've got some numbers to throw.
Yeah, so the thing that's even more absurd to me is the amount of media people that are going in on this. And the reason they're doing it is because it's popular on Twitter. It's popular on X, Twix. It's popular. It's a popular thing to put in your tag. They're doing it because they want views, not because they're being actually truthful. And either that or they're an actual moron, an actual uneducated moron. And so since 2018, when Patrick Mahomes first started for the Chiefs, since then until now, the Chiefs are ranked number 1 in the NFL out of 32 teams for total penalty yards and total penalty margin. Number 1. Now, in offensive penalty committed EPA, they are 32nd. And in defensive penalty committed EPA, they are 31st. Now, EPA, you might ask, what does that mean?
What is EPA, Bob?
It is, oh my gosh, I just blanked.
Estimated
points
against
applied.
Oh, okay.
So it would be points that you didn't get or would get. So defensive
or was scored
penalty
against
committed EPA would be if their offense got a penalty, that stopped their estimated points acquired. Okay, so we're the worst. We are the most penalized, and the team that takes the most, that gets hurt the most out of penalties. Now, on top of that, since 2018, the Chiefs have been penalized for 846 yards more than their opponents. 846 more than their opponents.
That's a lot of yards.
Yep. In Patrick Mahomes' 4,100 dropbacks, he has had 30 roughing the passer calls. That's 16th in the NFL since 2009 with quarterbacks who took a snap.
So it's dead middle.
Yeah.
But there's definitely no favoritism
and
for
it's
or
dead
against.
Middle. There could be somebody who only had a few games on there.
And these are the kind of stats that I like. You can look at a stat line for one game, and you can get a way different picture than you're going to get from an entire season full of stats. And then if you take into account an entire career since the man has started, I mean, stats don't lie. Stats for one game, maybe a couple of games might lie, but over time, stats don't lie. That is the truth. That's what it is.
Yep. Now, how about this? So this year, we'll just talk about this year only, because maybe somebody's like, oh yeah,
early in the career,
they weren't paying attention to this is this year. So on plays 3rd and 10 or longer, and plays 4th and 5 or longer, the Chiefs have only gotten 2 penalties in their favor the entire year. That's 15th in the NFL.
Wow.
2.
I feel like there was more than that, but okay. Stats don't lie.
When looking at penalties in the second half of of all of 2024 games, in the second half of games, where it's a one-score game on either side, no team has had more flags thrown on them than the Chiefs. Not one. We are the absolute most penalized team in the second half when it's a one-score game.
So what is your reference for this? Because I think that's gonna be one of the questions. Everybody can throw out stats. Where are you finding these stats? Is this an NFL.com thing?
I pulled them from a lot of different places. Yeah.
Okay. But they're floating out there. It is.
Yeah. So
Google is a man's best friend.
So, like, what are some of the possible reasons that people have this weird?
I'll tell you the reason.
It's hate. A lot of it. Trolls.
No. It's not just hate and trolls. That is a big part of it. But the other big part of it is the Chiefs are winning. The Chiefs are on TV every single night. They're almost always the top story, if not the second top story. So everything that they do is under a microscope. Nobody cares that the Browns got screwed in the fourth quarter because the Browns always get screwed, right? So there might be 8 Browns fans that could tell you a specific penalty that they could argue, right? Everybody sees every single one against and for the Chiefs. That's the way it is. And so those are the memorable ones, especially when the Chiefs is the Super Bowl for almost every game through the season. Everybody is watching the Chiefs game. Everybody wants to see how their team stacks up against the Chiefs. So those are the ones everybody sees. And when the Chiefs go out and beat you by a toe or by a doink field goal, and you're a bitter fan, you're going to remember that one call. And then when a fan of another team says, oh, yeah, I remember that call too. What about this call in this game? Oh, yeah, I remember that too. And it becomes a thing. It's a snowball. The Patriots had the same thing. I remember complaining about the Patriots.
Yeah, but the Patriots actually cheated. I mean,
well, everybody cheated. They just got caught. They were dumber about it.
Well, it could have just been that, the NFL was actually looking to find them cheating, which they're probably looking to find us cheating right now.
Sure.
To do something
about
it. Yeah,
this domination. Because you're right. I mean, Parity sells tickets. You might sell a few less Chiefs tickets if the Chiefs don't have this kind of run in them, but all of the other teams then get better. They all sell more tickets. Again, it's not about Clark Hunt and the Hunt family. It's about 32 different owners and how they all do together.
Well, and you talked about people seeing the Chiefs all over the place. Now, that's actually very true. This is something I had down. So the Chiefs, since Mahomes took over in 2018, have had 37 primetime games and 18 playoff games. So all of those are primetime games combined. So that's the most of any team, since he started. I mean, that's way more than anybody else. So that's over 3 seasons worth of Chiefs that non-Chiefs fans have watched. And so, those games are a lot more
in the limelight.
They're a lot more talked about.
Yeah.
And everybody, Twitter masters, are on their phones, not watching the game, just trying to get clout on, Twitter. Like, it's, if we cared about this podcast getting huge, we would not be watching the game and just tweeting during the game. And that's just not the way that we want to be. That's not our
Yeah, I
want to
watch the game, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch
doing
the
this
game.
show
I
is
wanna
awesome, but I want to
know
watch
what
the
I'm
game.
talking about when I talk about the game afterwards, and yeah, these people don't. They just tweet. So, yeah, so there's that, and then there's the thing that over the last 7 years, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have knocked so many. We've beat the crap out of so many different teams and ended so many different franchises' seasons.
Yep.
Over the 7-year span. So there's going to be a lot of bad blood with, fans that are in there going,
Yeah. And that's what it is, too. It's the fans. When you see those guys out on the football field, there might be 4 or 5 different scuffles in the middle of a game where the guys are getting at each other's throats, but after the game is over, they all have respect. Almost all of them go and shake hands and hug and trade jerseys and that kind of stuff. It's the fans. We're the ones that keep feeling it. The team has to think about the game next week. We're the ones stuck on that all week. Like, man, why did that one play have to go down like that?
That's what makes it sick. It makes me sick to my stomach when I watch these so-called experts on TV and they say that the refs are helping the Chiefs, and I just want to blow up because you're either an idiot, so therefore you shouldn't be on TV, or you're just playing to the crowd to try and get views, and that's even grosser than you being an idiot.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I mean, they're just playing to the masses. It's politics.
And that's disgusting.
Well, it is what it is. They get paid a lot of money to do it.
What it is. It's integrity, and I wish people were smart enough to just tune those people out. I mean, don't.
You think Skip Elliott cares about his integrity?
Don't give them views. These people don't
Or
deserve
Skip
to be
Bayless.
on TV. They don't. They don't deserve to be on TV. Period.
Somebody with a lot more money than me disagrees.
I'm done with it. Dropping the mic. If anybody says anything to me on the street, I'm just gonna slap you in the face, and we're gonna worry about the lawsuit later.
I'll buy you a new wardrobe.
We about to beat y'all. Nate in chat says we about to beat y'all and talk about the Bills. I'm assuming, which you guys have a really good chance.
Yeah,
really good chance.
Yeah.
You guys are a good team.
That's my home area, right? So I've got a lot of family and friends on my Facebook friends list that are hardcore Bills fans, season ticket holders, close family friends, and I'm seeing the fun you guys are having and the success that you guys have, and I love it. It feels very familiar, if I'm being honest.
Whether Bills Mafia wants to admit it or not, Bills Mafia and Chiefs Kingdom are very similar fan bases, very similar, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah, if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, I do believe Josh Allen would have at least probably 2, maybe 3 Lombardi trophies. Honestly, I mean,
I'd even go as far as if Patrick Mahomes, if we had drafted Josh Allen to this organization, I'm fairly sure it would be the same stats Mahomes has.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah. I mean, everybody gives Mahomes all the credit, but I mean, it's a whole team thing, and our coordinators, our coach. I mean, these are all the things, and just the fact that Clark Hunt is really involved and but isn't a Jerry Jones,
Right?
You know, like
he'll step out of the way.
Yeah, he'll step out of the way, but he'll make sure his people have everything that they need to have success, and that's why we are so successful. Patrick Mahomes is just a piece of it. He's a big piece of it, but he's still just a piece.
Just a cog.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Where do you want to start? You want to start at?
Should we remember the 13-second game before we really get into this? Let's not forget what happened with 13 seconds. In that game, there were 4 lead changes and 25 points scored in the final 2 minutes of regulation. That's only the second most among all games in the Super Bowl era.
Really?
So there's a game with more points than that. But that game,
the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've watched the highlights of that game probably 10, 15 times over the last few weeks because it's really been getting ramped up during playoff games. And the emotion is still there. I feel all the anxiety as I'm watching. Knowing the outcome, I'm still watching it like, oh, we're down by 3 or whatever with 13 seconds. How could this possibly happen? And Tony Romo's like, it could happen. He's got to throw it now. It was just,
dude. I was typing out. I have a really good friend in Buffalo. I used to podcast with. Shout out to. I'm not gonna say his real name. Well, no, Jim. Shout out to Jim.
Hey, Jim.
He goes by Death Blow on the
internet.
internet.
Death Blow. What up, Death Blow?
Yeah. You've played Sea of Thieves with him, but I was typing out his congratulation message.
In that 13 seconds?
That 13 seconds, and had to like rewind to watch the 2 catches because I just was like, all right, well, you guys earned it. I'm typing out my, congratulations message. I had almost hit send, and Melissa's just going crazy. I'm like, I know what. She's like, dude, look where we're at. And I'm like, who? Whoa, what just happened? So I had to go back and actually look at the 2 catches because I was sitting there like, all right, I'm going to have to
That was the day
crow.
Bob learned, never turn away, never give up hope, never say never with
never
Patrick
give
Mahomes.
up, never surrender.
But I have a feeling that this game could end up very much, maybe not with that many points scored, but that intensity and that kind of just game where it's all out. Every single player on the field was putting it all out there every last second of the game. I mean, whether the Chiefs win that game like they did or, the Bills found a way to win that game, it's still one of the most memorable games in NFL history. It's just such a great memory to kind of hold on to going into this AFC Championship game because I don't have the confidence. Let me take that back. I have the confidence that the Chiefs team can get it done, but I also have such a well-founded respect for the way the Bills play and the way Josh Allen plays and his abilities. We've seen what he can do at the end of a game. He can absolutely take over just like Mahomes can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they played it smart in the regular season and did not give us the ball back. And I know you talk about put a spy on him, but that's just, I mean,
you have to.
But I watched the spies on both Baltimore and the Bills this last weekend, and the spies just get beat. I mean, It isn't
a spy
enough.
on Baltimore. Okay, I mean, Lamar Jackson is otherworldly when it comes to running the ball, so a spy on him might just be a wasted defender. But on Josh Allen, all you have to do is slow him down for half a second so that another defender can come and help you get him
Well,
down.
you're going to need 3 more defenders.
Sure, that's fine,
there,
but you need somebody
he's
to
hard to take down.
put a hand on him early, get him slowed down early, because that's what killed the Chiefs in that game earlier this year, that monster run where he ran over 13 different Chiefs.
Yeah,
it was impressive.
To say the least. All right, what else you got?
And demoralizing as a Chiefs fan, it really was. I mean, going into the game, that's really. Like I said, I'm just kind of holding on to that feeling and it's like a feeling, an aura of we are champions. We've done this before. We've lost to Allen in the regular season before, and we've got this in us. Come on, guys. Please, let's just go to another. We got a three-peat.
Well, what do you think some of the keys to victory are?
I think it's pretty obvious. There are a few very poignant keys to victory, and I think they're all on offense. Offensive line has to perform and has to stay healthy.
We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Patrick Mahomes has to be able to find his open receiver, which I think we all feel a little more confident about that after the last game. But the receivers, and I feel a lot more confident about the receivers now that everybody's coming back and healthy.
Well, you should, because we played an incredible secondary last week.
Yes, absolutely.
Against the Texans, and we're going up against a really not good secondary in the Bills.
That's kind of a point I wanted to bring up. I've listened to a lot of the sports radio over this last week, and there were a lot of call-ins about how poorly the receiving core outside of Worthy and Kelsey performed in that Texans game. And I just respectfully disagree. I don't think they played poorly. I think the Texans defended as best as they could, and they decided they were going to take out Hollywood Brown and Hopkins as best as they could, and they did it effectively.
The 2 quarters and safety
and they
to
left
do that.
Kelsey open.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you throw it to your Hall of Fame, potentially best tight end to ever play the game when he's wide open? He still can catch the ball.
Ask teams why they don't throw to McDuffie's side. McDuffie falls to the same thing that so many great corners fall to. If you're really great, they don't throw to you, so you don't get stats.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a stat not thrown to, so you could see at the end of the game, and somebody at least would get not thrown to. You could see that would be a great stat, because that's one of the most important stats, because these NFL teams, unlike the fans, know exactly what corners not to throw to.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, guys, you guys don't. I don't. Most people don't. But these guys that look at it every day and study the team that they're going to play know.
But I also think if you're a wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins or Hollywood Brown and you're getting covered and you're not getting anything thrown your way the whole game, that would be easy to kind of maybe give up early on a play, or maybe play 90% for the next play, just because you might be getting frustrated. And I think that the fact that their defense still had to pay attention to them the whole time was kind of a testament to them. They're not going to stop. They're going to fight, and they're going to play at 100% on every single play, because if they don't, then that defender doesn't have to pay attention to him anymore. Then they can go to Kelsey and defend, because they know that player might take it. And if the defender decides to, defend Kelsey on that play, and you were taking that play off, you've just given the defense an advantage. And I think that's a testament. I think they played well, and I think that's the proof.
Well, I just think that Patrick wasn't looking to them just because he knew they were going to be covered. I think the Bills are going to try to put something together to stop Kelsey this time around, and I think that's going to turn into the other receivers getting worked in, which I don't know. They really have a bad secondary. So we'll just have to see. I don't expect us leaning on the run because they do have a really good front seven. They just don't have great corners and safeties. So, as a collective, I mean, they're kind of riddled with a lot of injury, and it was crazy. They got we've talked about the funny head helmet cover, that just looks dorky. Well, dorky dude still went in for a concussion.
Yeah, well, it's not going to – it just gives you better chances. That's all.
I don't know if it does. I don't know. I think your better chances are just stop leading with your head, defenders.
Yeah.
That would have stopped 2 of the penalties in the Texas game. Like, tell your players to stop leading with your head.
Yeah, that's right. That one, especially that second one where they got called, and it was the 2 defenders that actually headbutted each other, and Mahomes didn't get touched. The intent was still there. The action was still there. The fact that they didn't hit the intended target doesn't matter.
It was just karma.
Yeah, that's right.
Karma.
It was
you
still a
guys
penalty.
Got to hurt yourselves.
They could have got called by 2 different
you were
players.
Playing dirty. Mm-hmm. Like, you wanted to get that hit on Mahomes, and if a quarterback's running, it doesn't matter who it is. You have to make sure to take them down correctly. That's the way the NFL is now. There's no more, killing quarterbacks. It's not allowed. And it's made the game better because we used to just sit and watch our broken quarterbacks, every year we'd have 2 to 3 top-notch S-rated, which is higher than A, guys, quarterbacks that would just get blown out for the rest of the season, and then that season was gone for that team, and it was boring. Every once in a while you'll get like a crazy story, like the best show on turf,
the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't
the St.
think of
Louis
his name.
Oh, Trent Green.
No, the quarterback. No, Trent Green got hurt, and then religious guy took over.
Yeah.
He had a movie about
Then he
him.
went to Arizona.
Yeah, but
yeah,
but so like, it's very rare that that's an actual thing. We need to keep the quarterbacks healthy to keep the game healthy, and that's just the way it is. So stop trying to kill the quarterback when he runs.
That's right.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Stop. Grab him and pull him down like you're playing flag football. That's what you should be doing. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I don't necessarily like it, but that's the way it is. As Buck would say, the stupid statement, it is what it is. This actually is a proper way to use that. It actually is what it is. It's a rule. So, yeah, sorry. I just got a little heated there. Just a little heated.
Yeah,
I don't even know where we were at.
All right. Yeah, no, we were talking about keys to victory. And then defensively, Chris Jones has to just keep being Chris Jones. Jimenez doesn't even need to improve, but I think he is. I think he's
getting better.
He's getting better. He's getting more comfortable. He's getting faster. His body's getting more tuned to the speed of this game and where it is. And
Karlaftis is just becoming a
playing.
monster.
I think he's still improving too. I don't think he's at his peak yet.
We didn't even hit Josh Allen when we played him in the regular season. We definitely need to change that. We need to hit Josh Allen.
We need to put hands on.
But we need
Allen.
to try and stop the run as much as possible. And much easier said than done, but yeah, we really
James Cook is a tough runner, and then you've always got Josh Allen back there too. He's one of the toughest.
Yeah, that's my main keys to victory is just stop Josh Allen's run.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, the next thing on our list is talking about Andy Reid and Sean McDermott and their playoff record against each other. It's very, very, very similar. In fact, it's identical to Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. I thought maybe McDermott had a head coaching stint before Buffalo, but he didn't. So for his first head coach, his stint there, I mean, wow. he's got some good years ahead of him. And, man, Josh Allen is so young. But yeah, Andy Reid's playoff record total though is 27-16, 12-4 with the Chiefs. 12-4 playoff record with the Chiefs. That is, it's video game. That's 4 losses. That's 3 wins for every loss.
Yeah.
That's a Super Bowl average right there.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And then McDermott, he's 7-6. So I think his big problem has been Mahomes. I mean, 3 of those are to Mahomes in the playoffs. And I firmly believe that Josh Allen and McDermott probably win those games if it isn't the Chiefs and Mahomes and Andy Reid that they're playing. So, and if the Bills get through the Chiefs, I firmly believe that they're going to beat the Eagles or the Commanders. I really do. If they can beat the Chiefs here, then this is the team of destiny.
Yeah, I think it's just mistakes made. It's just weird. It's like the whole, everybody was up on Lamar Jackson. I've been talking smack on him all year going, yeah, that's great. Let's see if he can do it in the playoffs. And then what do you know? I'm right at the end of the day.
Not even necessarily in the playoffs, too, but at the end of very big games. The game against the Chiefs. And that, I saw it many times. 3 or 4 times later in the season, he just seemed to not be able to make the big throw to a wide open receiver.
Just not being able to make we look at this game against the Bills, and I couldn't believe that
first interception?
No, his comments at the end of the game, I'm hoping that he meant himself, but it sure came off like he was talking about Andrews. He's like, you can't turn that ball over. And I'm sitting there thinking, dude, you're the problem. Like,
no,
Andrews wouldn't have even had to do anything if you hadn't had that stupid fumble early in the game. I mean, that was absurd.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
I know what you're talking about.
That fumble was absolutely
almost certain he was talking about himself. If he said turnover,
so.
Andrews didn't turn the ball over. He just dropped it.
Oh, he fumbled.
That's right. He did.
Just a few minutes earlier in the game.
But he threw 2 picks, and they were ugly picks. Like, we're talking Mahomes in the first 3 games of the season, ugly picks.
Well, and then just the one he dropped it. It was a bad snap.
That too, yeah.
He picked it up
and then
dropped it again. I mean, bro, like, your first thing is to pull that up and just fall on it if you have to, but don't pick it up and drop it again. I mean, that game is on him and on him alone, I think.
Yeah, I can't argue against that.
Spider in chat says, I hate the Chiefs. Well, Spider, we hate you.
That's not true. I don't hate you, Spider.
I actually know Spider, so I do hate you, Spider.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Who's he a fan of?
I actually don't know. I used to play first-person shooters with him, Overwatch.
If he's not a Bills fan, then shut up, Spider.
Yep. You can hate the Chiefs all you want, but it's just the best franchise in the NFL, one of the most storied, and one of the reasons that we even have the NFL. It's the whole reason we have the Super Bowl. So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, choking in big games is what I think Josh Allen might just be getting over now, which scares me. But Lamar, I said it from day one when he was just blowing stuff up. Everybody, even my cousin, I can't wait.
He's regressing.
I still haven't called him to give him shit and say, yep, told you I was right. But, yeah, everybody was like, he's so good. I was like, okay, well, we'll see. In the playoffs, he's going to throw a dud. And what does he do? He throws a dud. Don't call me, you can call me Bob Tradamus. But I think everybody with a brain could have, seen that coming. But Josh, I think, has a chance to really come over that hump this time around. He seems really centered, and that's what scares me about Josh.
Oh, he's on a tear. Like, he is 100% motivated. If this game comes down to Josh Allen, then the Bills win. And I think Andy Reid knows that, and he wants to try to make sure that Mahomes ends up with the ball last. It's a very popular thing for a lot of people to say, but the team that ends up with the ball last is going to win this game. And that's pretty much what we've seen every time the Chiefs and Bills have played. Not earlier this season.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills have beat us in the regular season prior too. It's just, yeah, I do think the coaching staff in Kansas City definitely trumps the coaching staff at Buffalo, and I mean that's proofs in the pudding.
Yep, proofs in the Super Bowl trophy pudding.
Yeah, but so I got a couple other stats here.
Yeah, what you got?
If we're talking about here, before I go over them, what does this mean for Josh Allen's career if he does lose? What does this mean for his legacy?
I don't think this tarnishes his legacy. I think he's at a point in his career where he's proven what he can do in big situations, but I think the story for his career up to date would be that he's the greatest quarterback of this time other than Mahomes. I mean, I already think it's solidified. I think Mahomes is the best to ever be. I think he's better than Allen. I'm not saying it's a wide margin, but I think, Allen needs this really, really bad. And not just this game, obviously. There's one more. There would be the Super Bowl, and he would need that Super Bowl. But if he doesn't make it all the way, even if he beats the Chiefs and doesn't win the Super Bowl, I think it's the same outcome for his legacy. He just can't get it done. And it also depends on what happens in the game. If they have 4 defenders go down and it ends up being, a 52-48 game, that's not Josh Allen's fault. And nobody's ever going to blame him for that. They're going to talk about, remember that game that Josh Allen had and the defense just couldn't help him out? That would be the story there. So it really kind of depends on how it ends. But yeah, Josh Allen needs this for his legacy. He needs a Super Bowl win. And I still think he's got one.
Maybe.
Coming. I really do.
Maybe he needs it or maybe he doesn't. Okay, so check it out. So in all of playoff history, we have 5 quarterback rivalries that one person is 3-0. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We've got Mahomes over Allen, 3-0. Brady over Rivers. Rightfully so, right?
Yeah.
But Aikman over Favre. And I would say Favre was a better quarterback, right?
Absolutely.
Brady over Rivers, I'd say Brady was definitely better.
Absolutely.
And less of a crybaby. God, Rivers was a crybaby.
Yeah,
oh,
he
God,
was.
He was a crybaby.
Brady had some
whiny
some moments in him too.
I don't think
he was definitely
close to Phillip Rivers.
Phillip
I mean,
Rivers.
that guy you just wanted to tell to shut up. The other one, Kelly over Marino.
Wow.
Kelly never won a Super Bowl, right?
Right. Neither did Marino. So, but a lot of people say that Marino was the best to ever play that never won a Super Bowl. The man never had a defense. He really never had a 1, sometimes not even a 2 wide receiver. He was just getting the ball to the Jimmies and Joes, and he would get his yards that way.
I mean, for most of his career.
No, not Marino.
Oh,
Marino.
You're talking about Marino.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, he isn't on the list though.
I thought you said Marino. Kelly versus Marino.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Okay,
So for him to even make it to the playoffs with that kind of, disadvantage going into it, that just kind of goes to show you, his legacy. He didn't need it. He's still being talked about as one of the best.
Yep. And then Elway over Kosar. So there is a chance, and Brady beat, Peyton Manning a ton too. There is a chance that his legacy is still intact. However, if Mahomes beats him this week, that will be the first 4-0 of any QB versus QB in the playoffs.
Wow.
So he would literally just go down in history as one of the most amazing quarterbacks, but Mahomes bitch. I mean, that's what he would that's what he would go down as.
Man, I'm just thinking right now, if I'm a Buffalo fan and I'm watching this and you're saying that about my quarterback, I'm a little bit heated.
Who cares?
I have a lot of family and friends back there.
Great. Good. Hey guys, just called it how it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, called it exactly how it is.
It isn't that yet, though. I mean, Mahomes and the Chiefs still have to go out there and beat them for that to be a thing.
Yeah, the true story is Josh Allen is amazing.
Absolutely.
And he's unfortunate to be the same, close to the same age and in the same era as the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, in the greatest franchise to ever, play the game.
That is a subject we've talked about a few times, and we barely dipped our toes. We've discussed it a few times. Is Mahomes the greatest quarterback of all times? We're definitely saving that discussion for an off-season episode because there's all kinds of things to go into.
If he wins the Super Bowl,
it's undisputed.
He's almost like for sure
3 in a row
in there.
It's him.
But there'll be the longevity.
That's right.
Conversation. But so that's what is at stake for Josh Allen and the Bills, and it's a bummer because I actually like the Bills and the Bills fan base. And
yeah, if the Chiefs were struggling right now, I would be rooting for Buffalo 1,000%.
If Buffalo beats us, I am rooting for Buffalo in the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm rooting hard.
It depends. If the Commanders win, I think I'll be neutral. I'll be neutral.
I won't buy a jersey. I'll buy a hat.
But if it's the Eagles, yeah, Bills all the way. But I am a Bills fan.
If it's the Commanders, then Bills all the way.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'd like to see a rookie quarterback do. I think Jaden Daniels has had an amazing rookie season, and the way he's conducted himself, I'd love to see it.
I don't want to see the first rookie to ever play in a Super Bowl win a Super Bowl. That just takes away from Mahomes.
I don't think so. I don't think that takes anything away from Mahomes. I think it would just add to Jaden Daniels' legacy.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of the Redskins. I know they're the Commanders, but they're the Redskins, and I never liked that team name. I always thought it was gross. And any idiot home. So your name's the Chiefs. The Chiefs is a name of
status.
Something.
Yeah,
status.
It's a status symbol.
Something great. Something powerful.
It's an honorable.
Yeah,
it's an honorable title.
It's not a word to
something
put
to
down
another
something to
look up to.
Person. Yeah.
You look up to the Chiefs.
So no, I've never been a fan of the Redskins. Are they owned by somebody else now?
Oh, I don't know.
Guess because
I've got a close friend that might know, but
yeah, I'm just not a. But yeah, it would be neat to see the rookie quarterback, but I definitely think the Eagles deserve it more. But yeah, if the Chiefs lose, I'm definitely Bills
Rooting
Mafia for the rest of the season. Definitely.
You gonna jump through a table? You gonna douse yourself in ketchup and mustard?
I mean, I do that every week anyway.
Which one, the table or the ketchup and mustard?
Ketchup and mustard.
Oh, okay.
The table. I mean, I'm old.
You know they do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I watched
crazy up in Buffalo.
Jason Kelsey almost killed himself doing it. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So you were talking about like Mahomes being the GOAT. So let's go over a little bit of some fun stats. So most conference championships appearances as a starting QB. We have Brady at 14,
Jeez.
bastard. And then we have Montana at 7 and Mahomes at 7.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. Then
At what age did Montana get his 7th? I know you don't have that in front of you, I'm sure. But it wasn't at 29.
I can tell you exactly when.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a chief.
Oh, yeah. So that was the last year of his career.
Yeah.
Last year, second to last year. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was when he came to the Chiefs, and it was when I finally was converted from a spoon-fed, growing up Dallas Cowboy fan because of my dad to a full-blown Chiefs fan, because I liked the 49ers because I was starting to rebel against my dad, and the 49ers were their biggest, rival, and Joe Montana was so cool, and Jerry Rice was so cool, and then Joe came to the Chiefs, and I was like, all right, I fought this. Everybody, their mother here has been a Chiefs fan. I fought it. I'm embracing it. And then I've been a Chiefs fan diehard ever since, even through the Gunther Cunningham days, the dark
funny.
days
You
afterwards.
said you had a minute where you were a 49ers fan just to be rebellious. My little brother Max, when he was a little kid, he decided that he was a Green Bay Packer fan for like a season or two. We're like, why? He's like, just because I like them. We're like, yeah, but why?
Yeah, I straight up told my dad it's because you don't like him. I remember when the Giants and the Bills were in the Super Bowl, and I was rooting for the Giants, and my dad was rooting hard for the Bills because they'd lost so many.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Giants won on the field goal, and I was like, yeah. And my dad was like, you little pissant. But I didn't even know anything about football then. But, yeah, here's another one. Okay, so quarterback's age in that conference champ. So you talked about what season they got it in, but here's their age.
Let me guess. So Mahomes is 29.
Yep.
Montana, I'm going to guess, was 37.
Yep.
Yeah? Nice.
And Brady?
Brady was when he got number 7 or when he got number 14?
When he got number 7.
He was
champ.
probably 32.
35.
35. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he did a lot late in his career.
Now we look at most playoff wins before turning 30. So we have Joe Flacco at 10. We have Big Ben Roethlisberger at 10. Remember, Joe Flacco played for the Ravens
yeah.
when they had the crazy
defense, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's really
Won Super Bowl.
Ray Lewis.
I remember after that season, there was talk about him being the best quarterback in the league, and I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
So, yeah, the next, Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Are you going up here or are you going down?
I'm going up.
Okay.
Then the next is Troy. I can't broadcast a game without acting like a jackass and talking about calls.
He's
that
just
you
boring.
Dude, he's so horrible.
Can't stand
Troy
his games.
Aikman, yeah.
And it was before the Chiefs game, the last game.
I wish I could burn the little picture of my dad having me in a little Troy Aikman jersey. I want to just
I want that. I
vomit
want
that guy.
that for the thumbnail of one of our episodes. Actually, I'll pay your dad $50 for that.
No. I could give you maybe the one of me when I was a little kid and I was half of the front page of the Kansas City Star.
Yeah, but only if you were wearing an Aikman jersey.
My head was this big on the page.
That's awesome. Were you wearing an Aikman jersey?
No.
That's the one I want.
No, I was at a Tom Watson golf tournament. And, something strange. What was his name? It was a golfer. Strange.
Not a golfer.
Something strange. I was trying to get a autograph. I'm sweaty as hell. And they just put that picture in the Kansas City Star. Literally the front page where if you fold it, like this is for all you Zoomers, you won't even know what a paper is. But you would fold it over. And so the picture that took up the majority of the front page like that you saw after it was folded over was my big-ass head, Curtis Strange, and Curtis Strange there. And the funny part is they put that in there. Curtis Strange was a total dick to me. I mean, like a total mean person to me.
Yeah.
And I was this little kid trying to get an autograph. But, yeah, that was my claim to fame was, that and a Child Jones store model. Oh wait, no, cut that. Nobody. If you can find that, I will kill you. Yeah. So next is Brady at 12,
Okay.
and this is all most playoff wins before turning 30. And then the number 1, Mahomes with 16.
Yeah. 16 after this last game.
So if Mahomes can keep staying healthy, stay a student
potentially
of the game,
2 more. We are in the presence of greatness here in Kansas City.
I mean, not just
And I can't say it enough. What an awesome time to be a Chiefs fan.
We're in the presence of dominance and something that's out of this world.
When Brady was going through and winning all those championships with the Patriots, I remember watching and thinking to myself, I don't even hate Brady. I didn't hate Brady.
I was a big Brady fan.
If we could just get to the Super Bowl one time, my dream as a football fan would be fulfilled. Even if we don't win the Super Bowl, if we just get there one time in my lifetime, I would be ecstatic. So to imagine myself 7 years later as this Chiefs fan that has now 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, potentially a third in a row, this is a pipe dream.
See, like, I was a Brady fan for the longest time, and then Brady turned into kind of like an ass, and kind of like
I think he was always that way. It's just his true
stink.
colors.
I don't know that that's the truth. I mean, power and success changes people, and the good ones pull themselves back. I think everybody gets enticed by it, and like Mahomes, I think lucked out losing to Brady when we went up against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think because if you watched him, Mahomes was talking shit, like leading up to it, like, oh, I don't know if he's the greatest, blah blah blah. You know, now Mahomes is like, well, yeah, he's the GOAT, he's the greatest of all time. Like, I think it was a good learning experience for him to get that. Brady just, I don't know, he turned into a tool, and he started out, you know, a great story. And if he would have stayed humble, you know, he stayed a student of the game for sure.
Yeah.
But if he would have stayed humble, I would still like him. Like when Mahomes came in that first year and had all that success, we didn't win a Super Bowl. Ford screwed us, you know, in the AFC Championship, and went off sides when it would have been an interception on Brady, and we would have won the game and went to the Super Bowl, but we didn't. You know, like, all I hoped for, I told it to everybody, was I hope he stays a student of the game, and I hope he stays humble. And then when we were leading up to that Tampa Bay Super Bowl, I was like, dude, get back to humble. Get back to humble. Because it's a gross thing when somebody's like, yeah, I'm awesome. It's like, okay, great. It's like my dad told me when I was young and beating the crap out of my friends in this game and telling them how awesome I was. He came in, he was like, shut up. And he said it a lot, you know. Shut
More colorful.
the F up.
Yeah.
Nobody cares how good you could say you are. If you are really good, other people will say it. That's what you should strive for, and that's, you know, I think that's what Mahomes has, you know, really come back to. And so, yeah, I don't know. Brady is an ass. Just really kind of where I was going with that.
He's better at calling games than Aikman is, though.
Yeah, and he actually got
He's getting better.
Started to get good his first game covering Mahomes.
Yeah.
He was super excited and super into it and actually getting there. Yeah.
So what else you got there?
I mean,
Was that it?
yeah, I've went on so many tangents. But,
Yeah.
what do you have next?
Just some of the X factors for the Chiefs. We kind of already touched on it with all of these wide receivers. You know, Rashee Rice is back, D-Hop, Worthy, Hollywood Brown is back.
Rashee Rice is not back. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. No, Rashee Rice is not back.
Oh, you're thinking of Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I had a couple of drinks last night when I was prepping this, so not all of it came from the internet. Some of it came from the hazy mind of Buck. Yeah.
Yep. Hollywood Brown, D-Hop Worthy.
But I want you to remember a young man named Mr. Pirine who has come up with some very, very big plays in some very big moments. Usually it's on a third down, and it's usually a catch. But I think that he's got a couple of big catches in him this game. He's easily overlooked when he's out there because he's usually out there to block, right?
Okay.
And he's rarely come on, he's not going to be the number one receiver, option in one of these throws. It's usually because there's good coverage downfield. So Pirine comes up big. I think Pirine is going to have a couple of plays this week that are going to blow our minds.
Okay.
But again, it comes down to the O-line and what we can do to give Mahomes time. I don't know how you feel, but I have been overly impressed with their pass protection. That's just been getting better every game. Even with Caliendo in there, I know we still disagree about why the running game isn't as productive as it has been, and what's at fault there. But I don't think that we can argue the fact that the offensive line has improved passing wise. But defensively, again, we've talked about George Karlaftis. I don't think we can talk about him enough. But his performance this season and progressively getting better almost every game now. Now that Amenahu's back, I think Amenahu was a big factor in Karlaftis' rise to whatever he's becoming.
Even Jones too. I mean, it's another factor on the team. I talked about it at the start of the season. We need him to come back as fast as possible because, he is somebody that they actually can lose to, whereas, what we had before wasn't.
Yeah, it was just.
And we even tried to bring in some people, but.
And I mean, personally,
brought in.
I didn't think there was a big problem over there. I thought it was just. It could have been better, but it wasn't bad. But now that Amenahu's back, it's like, wow, we really did lack a lot in that position, and what he's brought to this team is special. That game that he had, I mean, I would credit 2 or 3 of the sacks that other guys got because of Amenahu's pressure, and Jones too. You can't take it away from him.
But what he also opens up for Jones is Jones likes to jump around the defensive line, but that only works when you have other pieces that can jump into the other spots.
That's right.
So Amenahu is a bit different in the fact that he can line up on the inside when Jones wants to go to the outside and still properly stop the run, properly pass rush, whereas a lot of people cannot jump all over the line.
Right. And you know what? Let's give props to Tershawn Wharton as well. He's kind of been the quiet guy in the background, just kind of anchoring the defense while all these other guys are getting pressure. Let's not forget what he did when Jones was out that couple of games. I mean, he really stepped up too. I mean, what a great – I mean, if he's the weak link in that chain, they got something special on the defensive line too. So, I don't think that the Bills are going to underestimate the defensive line. The defensive line, I just don't think that you can really, when they're all pushing on all 4 cylinders, you just can't stop that kind of pressure.
Yep. And one of the big things we were worried about was the butt kicker.
Yeah,
Butker.
Yeah, he's been good since he's been back, but
no, he's not been good since he's been back. He's been good in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. He's been good in the playoffs historically, but
this playoffs.
Oh yeah, he made 3. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he hasn't missed anything
that's right.
in the playoffs.
But
where I was worried about it leading up to the playoffs after he came back from injury. I mean, I think a lot of people were worried about it. But
well, and rightfully so. He's missed 2 since he's been back, and he missed an extra point as well. So that's – and it's only been since December 15th. So what's that, 5 games, I think? Something like that? Yeah, 5 games, 6 games with the playoff game. Anyway, see, he's not been great, but to your point, yes, those kicks that he made in the game last week were definitely – solid makes. They weren't float. Remember that first game back? He made all the kicks, but every one was like within 6 inches of the goal post. It wasn't like that. They were pretty much straight down the middle. While Fairbairn was definitely struggling with the wind too. So we know the wind was a factor because Fairbairn had a horrible time kicking, but Butker was definitely. I don't know if he just played the wind better or I don't know.
He has always been really good with wind. I don't know why.
He made it look like there was no wind. He really did.
I gotta call a timeout. You want to see if anybody in chat has any questions? Maybe you could take questions while I'm gone. Anybody in chat? Questions?
Yeah. Throw something at me.
YouTube. I don't know if you have Facebook up.
Oh, there is a. Okay, so there's a young lady here in chat. She doesn't want to give her name, but she says Buck is right about everything. Man, you're gonna make me blush. I mean, I'm not right about everything, but a lot. I mean, a lot. That might be my sister. It could be my daughter. I don't know. No, nobody, nothing. Let's see if I can find Facebook here. Nothing. All right. We got some dead air. That's all right. Maybe we can talk about something that Bob doesn't agree with me on. Let's talk about this offensive line and how the running game has suffered because of Caliendo at tackle. Or at guard, I'm sorry.
Did we have any questions?
No, we didn't.
Bummer. Guys, questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so what about the weather? What's the weather going to be?
Yeah, the weather isn't going to be a big factor. It's going to be around 40 degrees. It's going to dip to below 21 degrees in the evening. I guess that's before. There might be some cloudy skies, but the wind is like 7 to 10 mile an hour. Nothing big. 5% chance of precipitation. Shouldn't expect it to play a huge part in the game. And you know what? I honestly, regardless of what the weather is, hot, cold, it's not going to play a factor because the Bills play in a very similar environment. They really do. I mean, it doesn't get as hot up there as it does here during the summer, but during playoffs, we're talking about cold, and if anything, they may even have an advantage. I wouldn't say that because this Chiefs team knows how to play in the cold because they've been doing it every postseason for the last 7 years. So they're definitely versed in the cold weather games. So, I mean, the weather is going to be mild and nothing to be excited about, and I don't think it would play a factor anyway. Even in a windy condition game, we know Mahomes is going to throw. I feel fairly confident that Josh Allen would too. So, I don't think the wind will play a factor. It doesn't give either team an advantage or disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, but one thing that does give us an advantage is Arrowhead Stadium and
that it does.
That 12th man.
That it does. The Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, during the Patrick Mahomes era, playing in the playoffs at Arrowhead, are 13-2. 13 wins and 2 losses. That's I didn't look
good odds.
That's pretty good odds. I would venture to say that maybe the Patriots had something like that, but I don't even think they had a 7-year span where they were making it to the AFC Championship game every single season like the Chiefs have. Not only have the Chiefs made it to the AFC Championship every season, but the games that they've lost, they've taken to overtime. So their floor is overtime of the AFC Championship game. This game is going to be amazing. No matter who wins, this game is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to lose if we do end up losing it. It's going to be a sad, sad episode for us to do that night.
It will be.
But it will be an exciting game to watch, and we'll have plenty to say either way.
Yep.
But the one thing I don't want to talk about after that game is refs.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, well, and we have, I wasn't even going to bring it up, but we have one of the worst refs for the Chiefs,
Okay, last time
Period.
you said that, though, I don't remember exactly what game it was, but you definitely brought that up before the game.
Yeah,
is it the same guy?
That was the worst ref. No.
Oh, it's a different guy. I was going to say, because that
the
game,
second worst ref
that game went
as far
way
as stats.
different. I mean, it started off looking like, they're going to get us bad, but I think it was the Browns game, because then the Browns ended up just getting lambasted with penalties.
I'm tired of talking about it, and I'm just not even gonna I'm just not even gonna give it credence. Like, this guy normally screws us, but we're gonna play a better game, so the refs can't screw us.
I do want to throw another caveat before we move on to the last stat, where the Chiefs are 13-2 at home in the playoffs under Mahomes. That's not actually at Arrowhead Stadium. That's 13-2 as the home team. The one loss was to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. That wasn't in the Chiefs Stadium. So they're actually 13-1 under Mahomes in Arrowhead.
Yeah,
that's even better.
The only time we lost was when Ford screwed up and Brady beat us that first year of Mahomes' start.
No, this was 2021. You're thinking the AFC Championship game, but that was
Were they the number 1 seed that year?
I
swore we were playing at Arrowhead. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, we were playing at Arrowhead, but that wasn't the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the Super Bowl. That's the one that wasn't in Arrowhead when we played Tampa Bay in 2021. We were the home team. That's why it's in this stat.
Gotcha.
It's 13-2, but it wasn't actually at Arrowhead.
Yeah,
so at Arrowhead, it's 13-1.
Yeah, and the only one that beat us was the Patriots. Brady. The first
I see what
year
you're saying.
Mahomes
Yeah.
started.
Yep. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so there's a lot of there's a lot at stake. We got a lot.
No, we lost to Cincinnati too in 2022 in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, so I think that 15-2 is correctly.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, I think they were taken into account. I don't know why they threw that in there. All right, well, whatever. Can't trust the internet for everything.
You were asking me if Von Miller is still going to play a role, but he's got a forced fumble.
He does,
like last week, so.
And he's still a disruptor for sure. And if you sleep on Von Miller, he's going to make you pay for sure.
He ain't going to be in every play.
Right.
He's old and tired.
He's pretty much a third down guy at this point.
He's kind of like Kelsey. Don't count him out.
Yeah, speed isn't his thing, right? I mean, he's fast, but speed isn't his thing. So he's still got it right here, and that is a huge part of the game of football is just knowing where to be and how to get there, and he still has that. He hasn't lost that at all.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good. What do you have any bold predictions? We're kind of here at the end of the show. We kind of need to end it out.
I mean, bold prediction, I'm a Chiefs fan, so I feel like the Chiefs are going to win. I feel really great about this game if you take Josh Allen out of it, which we all know you can't, right? But I believe that this game isn't going to be as close as everybody thinks it is. I say 30-21 Chiefs.
That's your only bold?
That's the boldest prediction I got. I mean, who knows? Any one of the receivers could go off for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. It just depends on the defense. So it just depends on how the Bills play, on who could light it up. Do I think Mahomes is going to have 400 yards? No, I really don't think so, because I don't think that that's the formula to beat the Bills.
Yeah, I don't think that's the formula of the Chiefs with their current team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's sad is that if, we had been beating teams 38 to 35 this year,
Right.
people would be talking less smack, which is just absurd to me.
Yeah.
Like, they would be talking about, like they'd be talking about us like they were talking about the Lions, but you see what's happened to the Lions.
How about 5 sacks on Josh Allen? Is that a bold prediction?
Yeah,
Considering,
that's really bold.
yeah. Okay,
That's
so let's
absurdly
go.
bold.
Let's go 5.
Has he ever been sacked 5 times in a game?
I couldn't tell you.
That would be it. I'd love to know that stat. Somebody leave that in the
You think
comments.
C.J. Stroud had been sacked 8 times before last week?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, is he the one that was the most sacked?
He was the most sacked. I think it was the most sacks in the game, though, on him. I think for the whole season, I think it was the most sacks on him. For
That was crazy.
Hey, let us know in the comments. Fill that comment section up, guys. Help us out.
Do it.
All right, so bold predictions for me. I'll go D-Hop has 2 TDs.
Okay.
How
I
about that?
don't know how bold that is because
That's pretty bold.
it could
considering
absolutely happen.
He
I mean,
hasn't had 2 TDs since he's been with us.
yeah, he has.
Has
First
he?
or second game, yeah.
2?
Mm-hmm. He's definitely had a 2-touchdown game early on with us.
All right. Well,
I do a lot of stats.
Rasheed Rice, 2 TDs.
Now that's bold. That's bold. All right.
And then,
You could say something like the receiving. We're going to have 4 receiving touchdowns, like Mahomes would have 4, and then you just kind of blanket any receiver could get credit for that at all. I think that would be bold.
but I'm trying to do bold.
All right.
I'm trying to do bold.
Hey man, if D-Hop gets 2, I'll pat you on the back and say you're the smartest guy ever.
Well, I think D-Hop or Rice is going to have a big day. I think
Rice won't.
I think we're not Rice. I did the same thing.
Yeah,
you did
Brown.
earlier.
Brown.
D-Hop or Hollywood Brown will have a big day. I think. I think Worthy is just going to get stuff regardless. I mean, I think they see him as their future.
Yeah.
And probably hoping he could be a number 1 because we don't have any other receiver signed for next year.
I have a lot more confidence in Worthy today than I did 4 months ago.
Yeah.
A lot more confidence.
I think everybody does. We watched him grow like our little plant. We watered him, watched him grow.
He grew up quick, though. Proud of you, Worthy.
All right, well, I think that's it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw this at the very end of the notes here. I could have cheated while you were asking me those questions.
Oh, yeah. You didn't know I added those in?
No.
Oh, man. All right, well, yeah, we're going to get out of here. How can you help us out? You can help us out by sharing this on Facebook, on X. I don't know if it's called retweet or no, it's called retell or something on X now.
Share it.
Whatever. Just
Whatever you
share
do.
it. Tell everybody
Like
about Buck and
and
Bob.
comment.
Comment.
Comment negative or positive.
YouTube,
doesn't matter.
We're actually growing. So YouTube, help us out. The biggest thing is man, like, help us just like the video, leave a comment, leave multiple comments. Like, those things help so much. Hitting that bell actually helps a big ton. It's hard to explain how it all works, but just help us out.
Do it. Just do it.
And
then if you got friends that are Bills fans, tell them about us. If you got friends that are Broncos fans, tell them about us. They love to hate us.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, they're just going to dislike our stuff. But
That's okay.
If they could leave a hate comment, that would be great, too. You can find all of our links at buckandbob.com. That's BUKNBOB.com. And, yeah, you could find Buck at...
You can find me on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitter. It's at Buck_tastic. That's BUK_TASTIK.
And you can find me on X at Blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. And, yeah, we're going to get out of here. But thank you guys so much for coming, hanging out. And
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we need more chatters in chat. We will talk to you. We will, you know, like we will interact with you. You could also leave a voicemail at 816-866-1066.
We haven't had a voicemail in a while.
We had one just the other day.
Did we?
Oh, you were on your cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Jeremy?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah. We
Of
need
course it was
more than
good.
just Jeremy, though, guys. Come
Jeremy's
on.
always good.
Call in, leave comments. Maybe we should start doing a comment of the week for getting more comments on
All right,
YouTube.
let's do it.
We could. All right, if we get at least 10 comments from different people, we will start doing a comment of the week. So, come on, give us some comments, and we'll shout you out. We'll do your comment. All right, we're gonna get out of here. How about those
Chiefs?